I'll cover everything. And you've got to start with this as the talking point. I just want to say a big congratulations, all right, to JJ Gabriel for making his Manchester United debut. Does it count as his debut, or has it got to be an official game? Either way, it's either his first appearance with a senior team, or that's his official debut. Well, maybe it's not official debut because that will come in an actual competitive game, but I'm glad that he's got that under his belt. You know what I don't want to hear again? Minutes in the legs. My word, the amount of times I heard that in the commentary today. But it was a big moment for JJ Gabriel. Didn't really get to it. There was a couple of times towards the end of the game where he had some chances. Probably going to pass it on. But congratulations to him. But I want to focus on some, I would say, some standout players from that game. And I've really been enjoying what I've been watching from Andre Santos so far in this preseason. He got, what, 75 minutes there? He's better defensively than I thought. I'm just my immediate sort of thoughts on Santos, having watched him in these 3 games. He's better defensively than I thought. Like, really looks like a good, solid, all-round game. I mean, I knew he was going to be progressive. That was a part of the game of his I was looking forward to. A lot of the times when Heaton or the goalkeeper's on the ball, he'll run and he'll drop deep between. That's what I saw in this game. Between Heaven, between Maguire. Give me the ball. I'll bring it forward. And those central progressive passes. You know the ones where instead of your central midfielder just going out wide to Yoro or Shaw, whoever your fullbacks are, boom, pings it into the number 10, whether that's Lacey, whether that's Mbeumo. United created a couple of chances there today. Yeah, but the bit that surprised me, and I mean in a positive way, is how good he is at sniffing out the right time to lunge. Yeah, you know, Casemiro always did that, but it was always like half a yard late. Santos' timing has been excellent so far. I really enjoyed watching him in there against Atletico Madrid. The toughest opposition so far, and I thought he played well. But hey, I can't help it, right? I can't help but just be annoyed at watching how good Mason Mount was in that game. I'm bloody scarred, man. There's a part of me as a United fan that's just not allowing myself to look at that Mason Mount performance and how he's played so far in pre-season, which again has been pretty decent, and thinking, oh, well, you know what? Have you just stayed? No, shut up, Sam. Don't let yourself do it again. Mason Mount was probably the man of the match there today. Alongside Santos, it's been those two in midfield so far this pre-season. I suppose it wouldn't be too much of a surprise if you saw that against PSG, if you saw that against Leeds, if you saw that against AC, and who knows, the first game against Hull. Tielemans has been training this week, but Santos has started every game and Mason Mount has too, and they've actually worked quite well together. And Mason Mount, I think that was his best performance so far in pre-season. I don't know what else I can say about Mason Mount. You kind of know where I stand because I think a lot of you stand in the exact same position. We're not allowing ourselves to look at Mason Mount as anything but a bit part player because it doesn't really matter how well he plays. You know at some point the same conversation is going to happen. Now, I really hope that doesn't happen this year. Like Luke Shaw last season, I expected the same thing to happen, and it didn't. He started every single game for us. Mount, go and do the same thing, lad, because I actually thought he looked good, and if he can play like that, and this is the thing, if you allow yourself to think now, if he can play like that, he'd actually be an asset to United next season in terms of midfield options. Now, somebody who I thought played class today was Shea Lacey. Now, you see some young players come up into the first-team environment, and they kind of look a little bit like a sort of rabbit in the headlights. Rabbit in the headlights? Deer in the headlights? Can't remember. Anyway, they look a little bit starstruck, like, oh, I've got to impress. Shea Lacey just looks calm. He looks like he feels he belongs, because he does belong. Interestingly enough, I think that's 2 games now where Carrick has trusted him with starting in the number 10 role, the sort of key playmaker role. Not out on the wing and see what you can do. No, you're going to be the man that links our midfield to our attack. And Shea Lacey was the link today with that first goal because he drifted into the box, lovely footwork, silky, won the penalty. And Mbeumo buried it, and I'll speak about Mbeumo next. But it was another good performance from Shea Lacey. And I think of all the academy, I don't particularly see this as a season where we're going to see a mad breakthrough for JJ Gabriel. I think he's going to make his debut. I think he's going to have some performances, and fingers crossed, he can have one of those moments. But I would predict it far more with Shea Lacey that he's going to be the academy breakout star for United this season. It's either him or probably Tyler Fletcher. Jack Fletcher actually played today, came on at the right wing, interestingly. But Shea looks ready. Anybody who's watched him at the younger levels, he's always stood out because of he's just a very, I don't know the right way to describe him. He's a really graceful player to watch. Very good at drifting past an opposition's foot, dribbling past a player. and making it look easy, you know, when the ball's kind of stuck to his foot. Really nice from Shea Lacey. And I've liked what I've seen from him so far this preseason. So for me today, the 3 standout performance were those. It was Santos, it was Mount, and it was Lacey. Now, there were a couple of goals there. Actually, I'll tell you what. Ahmad looked sharp too. Ahmad looked a lot sharper than Mbeumo did. And Mbeumo did score 2 goals. I'll speak about him. But that's the first 45 minutes that we've seen from Ahmad. And I liked what I saw. Really, like 2 or 3 times where he was like pelting it back towards his defence. Won the ball back and then immediately went straight on the counter. Loved it. Good from Ahmad. He needs to have a sharp start to the season after what happened. Let's be honest. For like the tail end of, not even the tail end, 3-4 months last season. I think the same thing could be said about Mbeumo, though, really. I know he came back from AFCON. We had the City and the Arsenal games, but then... Anyway, Mbeumo. I don't think Mbeumo looks as... Like, Ahmad coming on for 45 minutes there looked immediately sharper than Mbeumo does. But he scored 2 goals. First one, the penalty, really calm. Sending the keeper the wrong way with the eyes. Second one, it was a little bit of a fortunate deflection, but... I'll be honest, overall in the game, United certainly deserved that. United were the better team there today against Atletico. For sure. Their goal was one of the... I hate that goal that you can see. You know, when a cross goes in and it's just... Blip, 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 just goes in without anybody touching it. But Mbeumo, I hope those 2 goals help him sort of... I don't know. Just the next step for him. Because I want to see... the Mbeumo that we saw in the first 4 months of last season. I want to see him back. Don't think he's quite there yet from his sharpness, but he's got those 2 goals. And I've got to finish by having this conversation here, right? To me, in the first couple of games, it felt like Lenny Yoro at right back was sort of like, I mean, the only like, technically, he's not even senior, but the only right back you got in the squad is Camerson because you've got no Mazraoui, you've got no Delo. Let's just see. Let's play Yoro there. Let's see what happens. Actually, looks all right there. Do I think that Lenny Yoro is going to be playing there too often? I don't quite know. Not particularly. And if Carrick goes to play how he did at Middlesbrough more this season, you're going to see us play into a back 3 a lot more. And whether it's the left back that pushes forward to become a winger, whether it's the right back that pushes forward to become more of a winger, that could happen. Don't really see Yoro thriving in that environment. But I actually think Yoro's look pretty good. He looks, again, sharp. Is the right way to describe it. You know, like the burst, the explosive first yarder when he's stretching for a ball or stretching for a tackle. He looks fit. He looks good in that right back, and he does not look uncomfortable. Some centre-backs can look a bit, I don't know, what the hell am I doing covering all this space? Lenny Yoro is not one of those. Really enjoyed what I saw from him there today. But yeah, my man of the match was probably Mason Mount. I can understand the calls for that, but I'm going back to that as to finish on. I've been really impressed by how all-rounded André Santos' game is. I knew I was going to get a progressor. I knew I was going to get somebody that was going to bring some control to the midfield. Didn't quite realise how good his timing was and how good his interceptions would be, though. That's a pleasant surprise. 2-1 winners against Atletico. PSG next. Nice. I'll take that after, 5-0 against Rosenborg? Let's forget the Wrexham game. That never happened.